Good morning, True Blue Oklahoman here. Let me put that coffee down, be safer. I have done a couple of videos about this legislative compensation board we have in Oklahoma and some of the big raises they have been giving out. And I know the Democrats in Oklahoma, the House and the Senate, aren't real happy about it. And finally, a Republican has joined in. This is from KOSU, a story by Emma Murphy, and I'm paraphrasing a lot of this. I'm just repeating her story here. It appears Representative Molly Jenkins, a Republican from Coyle, has written to our Attorney General Drummond asking him to investigate whether the closed-door meetings this Board of Legislative Compensation had was legal. Now, all of these raises were given behind closed doors, no input from any outside source, okay? Which is par for the course in Oklahoma. We have a lot of closed door meetings. It isn't right, but that's what happens. Representative Molly Jenkins says it doesn't pass the smell test and thinks the loophole in the state law needs revising to not allow that kind of thing. On November 18th, the board gave raises to certain lawmakers ranging from $7,400 a year to $54,900 a year. That was to the state superintendent of schools in Oklahoma, who we don't know who that's going to be in 2026 yet, but he's going to get a nice raise. Plus, it increased the daily stipend for over a dozen leaders in the House and the Senate. Not all of them, just the leaders, and apparently there's over a dozen of them. So, another article by Barbara Hoverock. This has to do with property taxes in Oklahoma. Oklahoma voters might get to vote to eliminate property taxes next year. There are two reps, two Republican representatives, and a former legislator have filed to circulate an initiative petition for State Question 841 to gradually eliminate state property taxes. The way it is written, property taxes would be reduced by a third in 2027, by 2/3 in 28, and disappear in 29. It sounds like a great idea, and there's a couple of good reasons to do it. However, property taxes generate tons and tons of money, and if that money disappears, the state will find some other way to get that money from you. Now, on the pro side of getting rid of property taxes, if you live in Oklahoma and your property is paid off, you're still paying property taxes. And that is just, basically you're just paying rent to the state for a piece of property you already own. Plus, even if you own your property, it's paid off free and clear, if something happens and you don't pay your property taxes or can't pay them for some reason, the state can come get your house, whether it's paid off or not. And that's a real slippery slope right there. That's not something that should be able to happen. On the other hand, almost every county government in Oklahoma relies strictly on property tax money to keep the county machine working. Roads, on and on and on. Anything that your county is involved in, 90% of their money comes from property taxes. And so, you get rid of the property tax, if you want roads, bridges, that kind of thing, that money is going to have to come from somewhere else. And The government's not doling out that kind of money anymore. So where's all that money going to come from? So, I mean, somebody's going to have to rob Peter to pay Paul. I can see getting rid of property taxes, but I also see that that money's going to have to come from somewhere else. So I would hope people much smarter than me, hopefully that have been elected to office, can come up with something. That's their job, is to come up with something, and we all wish they would. Anyway, that's just a couple of things for today. It's going to be a beautiful day. Have a good one.